Yes, okay, ma'am. Abdullah ji हो गया recording भी चालू
रोगनिदान एकेडमी के इस सिंगल लेक्चर सीरीज में मैं डॉक्टर ऐश्वर्या रानड़े आप सभी का एक बार फिर से स्वागत करती हूँ। आज का हमारा इस एकेडमी का 14th लेक्चर शुरू है। जुलाई महीने से हमने ये लेक्चर सीरीज शुरू की है। लेक्चर सीरीज शुरू करने से पहले कुछ सूचनाएं मैं देना चाहूँगी। जो भी हमारे आज के स्पीकर है और उनका जो सब्जेक्ट है उसके बारे में सर 50 मिनट्स तक बोलेंगे, और जो अगर किसी को अपने कुछ विचार बोलने हैं उस विषय पे, या फिर किसी को कोई सवाल है तो वो चैट पे पहले अपने सवाल डाल दें, ताकि सर का लेक्चर ख़त्म होने के बाद हम एक के बाद एक सीक्वेंसली हर एक के क्वेश्चन ले सके। प्लीज़ अपने आपके माइक्स म्यूट कर लीजिएगा, और जो भी आपके सुझाव या कुछ भी है वो प्लीज़ चैट में डाल दीजिए। अगर सबने अपने माइक्स अनम्यूट किए तो फिर वो थोड़ा सा मैनेज करने में प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है, तो अगर चैट में डाल देंगे तो कोऑर्डिनेशन में बहुत ज़्यादा इजी होगा। तो आज के इस लेक्चर सीरीज में हमारे साथ डॉक्टर पवन सर है, हमारे गेस्ट स्पीकर है डॉक्टर संदीप दहलेकर सर, आराधना मैम है, कार सर है, और मेरे सभी कलीग्स और सीनियर्स वरिष्ठ सभी रोगनिदान एकेडमी के टीचर्स और सभी वरिष्ठों को एक बार फिर से स्वागत करके आज का लेक्चर शुरू करती हूँ। शुरुआत में धन्वंतरी स्तवन से हम इसकी शुरुआत करेंगे।
धन्वंतरी स्तोत्रम। ओम शंखं चक्रं जलौकां दधदमृतघटं चारुदोर्भिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मस्वच्छादिहृद्यां शुक परिविलसन्मौलिमम्भोजनेत्रम् कालाम्भोदोज्ज्वलाङ्गं कटितटविलसच्चारुपीताम्बराढ्यम् वन्दे धन्वन्तरिं तं निखिलगतवनप्रौढदावाग्निलीलम्।
आज के हमारे जो गेस्ट स्पीकर है डॉक्टर संदीप दहिलेकर सर, मैं उनका इंट्रोडक्शन सभी से करा देना चाहती हूँ। डॉक्टर संदीप दहिलेकर फिलहाल पारुल यूनिवर्सिटी में रोगनिदान डिपार्टमेंट में प्रोफेसर इस पोस्ट पे काम कर रहे हैं। सर का लेबोरेटरी प्रैक्टिसेस में बहुत साल से एक्सपीरियंस है। सर का एमडी टीकाकृत आयुर्वेद महाविद्यालय पुणे से हुआ है। सर की अपनी खुद की प्रैक्टिस भी है, और और स्किन डिसीजेस में सर की स्पेशलिटी है। सर लैब मैनेजमेंट और लैब इस्टेब्लिशमेंट में भी एक्सपर्ट का काम करते हैं, और सर ने एक पीएचडी इंजीनियरिंग के एक प्रोजेक्ट में भी जिसमें मलेरियल पैरासाइट का इमेजिंग और जिसके ऊपर से उसका सॉफ्टवेयर बनाया जाएगा, इसके ऊपर, इस प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर भी एक काम किया है। आज का सर का जो टॉपिक है वो है एन आयुर्वेदिक अप्रोच टू ब्लड शुगर लेवल। तो मैं सर से रिक्वेस्ट करती हूँ कि आज अपना वो लेक्चर शुरू करें।
My screen is visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, आज के उपस्थित सभी मान्यगण and all the respected dignitaries, my friends, my colleagues, my seniors and my juniors. Today I am going to elaborate a new term. Am I audible, sir? Ganesh sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Is it loud enough or I should speak more?
No, sir.
No,
It's
sir.
loud
Fine.
enough. Fine.
Okay, madam. So, yes. So, today, this month give me the chance to express my thoughts on blood glucose level in routine practices and its Ayurvedic approach. With this reorientation of laboratory reports, but that laboratory reports and its reorientation, that I will explain. Neither I will going on with my blood glucose level and its practical approach. So today here, what I say, pre-test preparation for sugar level. The age of the patient should always be preferred for the blood sugar test, and age should not be more than 40 years. Having the complaints of nocturnal urination in more than 40 years, both things at once should not be conduct for 70 gram of glucose, 70 gram of glucose for loading the glucose tolerance test. नको इतक्या बाहेर मला कळणार नाही ते बस तिथे enough. So blood sugar fasting postprandial, always do prepare for lunch tiffin in such a patient, and accidental undiagnosed hyperglycemia may result in fatal condition with the glucose loading. So blood sugar fasting with urine parallel will do prefer first. If the fasting sugar reading and glycosuria is within the normal limit, that is, you are drawn the first sample of blood sugar level with its urine parallel, that is fasting urine, and both having the normal range, within normal range, no problem at all, no higher values, then only you will go for oral glucose tolerance test, and that instruction should be mentioned very clear. Neither you are going to give a diabetic patient with huge quantity of glucose, and that may be a fatal condition. So then only go for oral tolerance test. Still, after confirming the association symptoms doesn't go along with the diabetic picture. So the blood sugar as per pressure, patient should get 3 days carbohydrate diet, and on the 3rd day at night should have a fasting with the resting condition for 2 hours to maximum 14 hours, and not more than that and not less than that. 12 to 14 hour fasting and resting is compulsory for the blood sugar, any kind of fasting postprandial, GTT or glycosylated. Actually glycosylated is another part, but this blood sugar level management needed this most. Ask the patient to have his dinner between 8 to 9 p.m. strictly. He should be NBM till coming morning, and he or she should not bring, he should bring his meal as per the routine lunch, neither breakfast nor snack or other fast food or for the postprandial sample. Now, accurate reading will help to maintain the insulin dose in type 1 diabetes. What are those doses which needed very accurately? For example, total daily dose of insulin in unit is weight in kilo multiplied by 0.55. This is the formula. So the total unit for the day, and you have to divide these unit in the morning, in the noon, and in the evening. Suppose a 70 kilo patient of the weight is there. So you need to calculate with 70 multiplied by 0.55, and then your answer will be whole day needed unit of rapid acting insulin is 38.5. So 38.5 is the calculating rapid acting insulin for the day, and you may divide it in 3 times. Does especially in tapering manners. Evening dose is tapering, then morning, and then noon. Here I want to denote that Ayurveda, what Ayurveda says is very clear, that tena vayo ahoratri bhuktanam anta adhika madhyama krama. So the actual, it's proven that pitta rises at midnight, and hypoglycemic death occurs from midnight up to the 4 o'clock early in the morning. I had faced 2 cases in my practices with the same condition, and early in the morning 4 o'clock I had a ring, and within 5 to 10 minutes with the glucose saline, patient is no more. That's happened with me 2 times with my patient experience. So I believe that definitely Madhyaratri Pitta Vardhate is very correct. That's why evening dose are taper than noon dose or morning dose. So universal formula in the adult is equal to insulin as to ratio with glucose, and that insulin glucose ratio is 1:2. So if the patient takes 60 grams of carbohydrate in his meal, for example, in his insulin ratio in glucose will be, that is CHO will be 60 multiplied by 1/10, 1:10. So 6 unit as a single dose after meal is needed. So calculate the calories and then give it in a proper way of insulin dose. Now, when I have my PG pursuing in Tilak Ayurved, some eccentric patient and some impatients, those don't have the patience, which moves the blood sugar level. In my experience, that I remember one patient in my postgraduate, he is so freaky that he ruins each pre-test indications that we needed 5 days to get his blood sample in proper manner. So this example definitely gives you an idea about how should you have to make a patient pre-test, his mind pre-test related precautions, and then sample collection and accurate reading. So day 1, he had his lunch and came for the fasting. We are not a commercial lab. So in the noon he come with his lunch and asked for fasting and postprandial sample at 1 o'clock in the noon. We instructed him very well and asked him to come on the next day. Day 2nd, he by mistakenly had his tea in the morning as his habit, and our technician lady shouted at him with instructed loudly, no tea, no coffee in the morning. In day 3rd, he innocently answered. We asked him, nothing you had taken, na? So he said, no tea and no coffee. Hence, I have a glass of milk in the morning. So we patted our forehead with calm voice and repeating, nothing, no coffee, no tea, and no buttermilk. So that's our phrases in furthermore patient, that we also included coffee, tea, and buttermilk in the given manners for instructions, and not even a glass of water in fear of something new issue he will be made. So in day 4th, he is NBM, but having Puran Poli with fritters, kheer, and all the sweet regarding Pola festival on the same day in Maharashtra. So we again denied the sample and asked him to come with the proper routine lunch box. And then day 5th, followed all the instruction by him and the sample taking task completed and so on. So that was the wonderful experience, that what should be needed to care for the blood sugar sampling, and it should not be a commercial way, whatever the time and whatever the fasting resting condition, that should not be entertained as a ethics in pathology. So that eccentric and impatience that ruins the blood sugar test, that should be care taken by the physician and even by the pathology lab. So this is not enough to say, even we need to check where the patient managed to sit at one's place or unnecessary burn out his calorie at the test time, that is Shatapavli. After having something, he's going to walk here and there. To home sometimes for their meals in the postprandial sample, they walk for not having their tiffin. Practically, some of them not having their lunch menu in the morning tiffin, and that is not possible for some other familial condition. Some tried to lie and have snack in his breakfast, snacks and breakfast, and they giving the postprandial sample. That is also a fact that ruins the blood sugar test. While some of them can't finish their meal without sweet in dessert, they needed sweet at the end of their food. So that is the part which should not be entertained in blood sugar level. Now this is all from the patient side. Now I'm talking on the mistakes. So if a patient is from IPD and new trainee staff technician avoid for the venipuncture to collect the sample, and it is in practices that you should collect sample from parental route which is going on, that arm should be avoided and another arm should be taken for the homogeneous blood sample, not from the same hand also. So what they did, most of them turn off the intracath or vein flow with 3-way to collect the blood sample. Intravenous IV fluid interfere with the high values of glucose and electrolyte or low values in CBC to make a picture of pancytopenia. Mistakenly considered for definitely bone marrow study as a mysterious patient or by mistaken. If the technician is not well trained in phlebotomy, is the another part. He counter the vein, he cross the vein, and when he cross the vein, that is he counter the vein to collect the oozing clotted sample under the skin, which may end up in a big issue. And I had faced that issue regarding patient mistakenly referred to higher center, and his relative came and shouting and quarrel with us, and then our phlebotomist, he's having that mistake that he don't get his vein properly and he collect the countered sample of the vein. So low sugar puzzle, still patient is wellness in walking, no slurred speech, no perspiration and no fainting, still having low sugar is the mystery regarding the technician mistake. Now never blame any laboratories for wrong reporting. It's your duty to check for some circumstances. Sometimes lab may do report manipulation. They may prefer some changes in the digits of the results. Always keep in mind, most of the lab avoiding for the more fasting sample. Fasting sample is having more reading than lower values in postprandial. So actually this condition is most important for a good practitioner because it is called as Somogai effect. Somogai effect, that is fasting sample is more than the postprandial reading. So it is because of patient may medicate himself with homemade remedies like Tikta Jirak, Gudmar, Karvelyak, Methi Beej or fenugreek seed, etc. Even Haridra, Kokum, Amsul जिसे कहते हैं, जीरक, curry leaves, कड़ी पत्ता leaves, which having a tremendous anti-glycemic work. The curry leaves are best kitchen medicine to slow down the absorption of glucose. And in practices with anti-diabetic drugs, they using the glyosidase drugs, that is alpha glyosidase drugs like Voglibos in practices. It is in power of 0.2 and 0.3 of migritol, glycate like drugs action. So curry patta leaf, dried up curry patta leaf is a tremendous homemade kitchen medicine that slow down the glucose absorption in your intestine just as Hoagli-Boss. So even report should be asked personally in relation with true digits with the lab, with your collaboration and your relation. Somogai effect may be due to some Ayurveda Rasaushadhi Bhasma. And why it is so? Because this Rasaushadhi Bhasma, which lower down the blood renal threshold in different and in future diabetic patient, to with the picture started, the patient is that the patient who is in future may be diabetic, having warts over the nape of neck, उसके गर्दन के आजू बाजू में मस्से बढ़ना शुरू हो जाता है. So this is the typical picture with the Somogai. Then we can confirmly say that this patient may be a patient of in future diabetic. So blood sugar level, or you may call it as blood plasma glucose. So normal blood sugar level by WHO in recent study, it is between 4.0 to 5.4 millimole per liter. That is from 72 to 99 milligram per dilution when the patient is having fasting sample, and up to 7.8 millimole per liter, that is 140 milligram per dilution just after 2 hours of eating. So that is the reading 140 mg per dilution for postprandial, and its linear value from 70 to 140, not less than 70 and not more than 140 mg for 2 hours postprandial sample. So now talking on the physiology, glucose in the blood stimulates the pancreas to release the insulin. So whenever you eat something, that rise up the blood sugar level, and that blood sugar level will release endocrinal ductless insulin, which then trigger up to the glucose by cell in the body. For example, muscle cell, causing the blood glucose to return to the base level. Insulin will turn off fat burning and promote glucose burning as the body primary fuel source. Any excess glucose end up being stored as glycogen in the muscle, and it can be stored as lipid in the fat tissue. So this is the most important word, that glycogen may turn up the glucose into fat tissue, and obesity is the factor, another factor for hyperglycemia. Hence the blood sugar level returns to normal just within the 2 hours by above said phenomenon. Hence fasting sample followed by postprandial after food at the end of 2 hours. And that's the study in curve. So now we term the most important term. We never say diabetes, we never say type 1, type 2 diabetes, we never say juvenile or diabetes insipidus. We coin each time the term of hyperglycemia, and that hyperglycemia, the term that secondary cause of hyperglycemia include the following condition. You should need to listen it carefully what I am going to just now elaborate. Destruction of pancreas from chronic pancreatitis, then hemochromatosis, pancreatic cancer and cystic fibrosis, endocrine disorders that causes the peripheral insulin resistance like Cushing syndrome, acromegaly, pheochromocytoma, something growth is there which secreted its own secretion, and that may hamper insulin to create hyperglycemic condition. Endocrine disorders just like hyperthyroidism, hyperadrenalism, hyperpituitarism can goes to hyperglycemic condition. A use of medication like glucocorticoids, that is steroid, phenytoin, then oral contraceptive pills as estrogen. Gestational diabetes is known to occur in 4% of all pregnancies. That lady carrying pregnancy and her placenta and fetal site secretions that inhibit the action of insulin. So is the primary due to decreased insulin sensitivity. So total parental nutrition and dextrose infusion may, that glucosaline may create hyperglycemia, or the patient is having unifocal food, that is he is always used to have sweet in his diet. So जिसे हम कहते हैं एक ही तरह का खाना लेना, एक ही स्वाद. So reactive as seen in post-operative or in critical ill patients, whenever there is a illness, then it will be there. Also, some stress related factors, that is epinephrine is one of them. So if a patient is having stress, and that stress may increase in epinephrine, that epinephrine may give rise in high blood sugar, is the secondary cause in hyperglycemia. And hence all the literature, whenever talk regarding hyperglycemia, they use the term that no stress related hyperglycemia as a pathological means. Why it is so, I am explaining it in my next slide. All these are secondary causes for hyperglycemia, and that hyperglycemia is a most essential condition for glycosuria. And what is the definition of glycosuria? When glucose comes in urine, when there is a possibility of a higher blood renal threshold, and that blood renal threshold is 180 milligram per dilution, and that hyperglycemia may turns to no renal reabsorption, and that may cause glucose in urine. So regarding all this secondary condition, I am going to elaborate. So what is the primary cause of hyperglycemia, which include reduced insulin secretions, decreased glucose utilization, and increased glucose production, which can be seen in diabetes mellitus. So diabetes mellitus is the primary cause, but there are several causes which may create hyperglycemia. So now talking on the glucose tolerance test, 3 types of GTT performed with 0 timing fasting sample followed by the urine sample parallel to conduct the Benedict qualitative test for GOD, glucose oxidase peroxidase method, in the color formation and certain time in the second, 30 seconds, and you going to check the values regarding the deep streak. So what is the glucose tolerance test? So the first type, there are 3 types of glucose tolerance test. The first type is intravenous 75 gram dilution glucose given to a person to certain conditions. Oral GTT performed for 2 hours with planning of 2 hours data. For 2 hours GTT with 75 gram of glucose loading. A glucose level below 7.8 millimole per liter, that is 140 mg per dl, is normal. DL means dilution. Whereas higher level indicates hyperglycemia. So blood plasma glucose between 7.8 millimole per liter, 40 mg per dilution, and 11.1 millimole per liter, that is 200 mg per dilution, indicates impaired glucose tolerance. And level at the above that 11.1 millimole per liter, that is patient having blood sugar more than 200 mg per dl at 2 hours confirms a diagnosis of diabetes. Now regarding to third type of GTT, that is oral glucose tolerance test with 3 hours data with loading dose of glucose every after 1 hour for gestational diabetes in pregnant lady, and a 2-step procedure where in first step the 50 gram of glucose is loaded in first hour. If after the first hour blood glucose level is more than 7.8 millimole per liter, it is followed by 100 gram of glucose dose. So it is followed by 100 gram of glucose dose. And third step, repeated by again with 100 gram of glucose at third hour, and to draw the last sample at third hour ending as a physician instruction. If physician needed furthermore, then he will ask up to the test up to the third hour. So the diagnostic of gestational diabetes is then defined by blood glucose level meeting or exceeding the cutoff values on the on at the least 2 intervals, with cutoff as followed. Before glucose intakes, it should be 95 mg per dl. First hour after drinking glucose of 50 gram, it should be 180 mg per dl. At second hour, it should be within 155 mg per dilution, and at third hour, it should be within 140 mg per dilution. This is the curve, and that's why we studied it very well regarding certain possibilities. Now you can see, am I audible and clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes your voice gets cracked.
ऋषिता धार नको लावू, रेंज कमी पडत आहे. थोडा आवाज आला तरी बाहेर. Okay, ma'am. Now is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. So blood renal threshold. Please look at the picture carefully. This is the test of oral glucose tolerance test. Now we are interfering some results. What is blood renal threshold? It is given here. It is between 150 to 200. You can see this red dotted line. This is called renal threshold. So blood renal threshold is 180 mg per dl. If it exceeds, then renal filtration make it out in the urine and glycosuria takes place. Coming to the next line, normal sugar curve when pick up at the first hour. You can see the pickup is at the, this is fasting, this is half hour, this is the first hour, and all pickup is going here in the first hour. And if it is 150 mg per dilution and then return to the normal within first and half hour, 1.5 hour, as a sharp red line, you can see this is the brighter sharp red line which is below 100 and near up to 150 or 155, and this is sharp red line at 2 hours comes to the 70 to 80. You can see here 70. This is a normal line. If fasting with the glucose load pick up to 145 to 150 mg per dilution, then continue to stable up to 100 up to 1.5 hour and stable throughout to more than 100 mg with the time is called as renal glucosuria, or you may call it this one line which is having renal threshold. You can see this sky blue line, this sky blue line, and this sky blue line give you an idea about low renal threshold, that patient is having a little bit peak, though that peak renal threshold is within normal range, 180 mg is the last limit, but renal threshold goes downwards in some patients. Those are exceptions. So this is again with this not sky blue line, my mistake, pardon. This is again the red line, and it turns to the dotted line, that is renal glycosuria, low renal threshold. Now coming to the sky blue line, it is the blue line in the picture of anal glycosuria. ये वो लोग होते हैं खाना खाने के बाद उनको आधा से 1 घंटा सूझता नहीं है और उनके फैमिलियर मेंबर उसे कहते हैं साला अजगर हो गया. So this is what this sky blue line give you an idea about within half hour up to the 1 hour, that glucose very picked up in his blood sugar, and it may goes from half hour to 1 hour. Here this one blue line, this ratio, this slope, and then returns to 1.5 hours to the normal. It is a lag curve, and this is called anal glycosuria. So patient having food, though it is near up to the normal range, but it is so high up in peak within half to 1 hour that patient is having something like he is having drunken with the alcohol and like that symptoms. So that may also called as lag curve, that instantly increase and instantly and slowly decrease, but it is not any kind of pathology, it is a physiology, that is anal glycosuria. Now coming to the moderate diabetes with 4+ urine sugar, this sharp dark brown color line which is having the wording of moderate diabetes mellitus, the fasting sample is up to his fasting started here. Here is the starting 140, and it's after the picture of GTT within 1 hour his peaked blood sugar is up to 300 mg per dl. Here you can see here up to 270 is a moderate diabetes, and if it is a sharp brown color line which give you an idea about moderate diabetes. And severe diabetic fasting which started from 230 and end up at certain level 1.5 hours up to the 320 mg per dl. So this graph and this graphical picture give you an idea about normal curve, renal glycosuria, low renal threshold, anal glycosuria, moderate diabetes mellitus, and severe diabetes mellitus. So this picture and this graph are very essential for the diagnosis of OGTT, that is oral glucose test. Glycosylated hemoglobin. So this is the most important information you can have to learn, that what is glycohemoglobin. So glycohemoglobin are the fast hemoglobin, glycosylated hemoglobin, or HbA. It is something behave like adult hemoglobin, HbA1c. C is small. The RBC in children above the age of 6 months means this can be happen from 6 months to any kind of adult human being. So there is a hemoglobin species, 3 kinds of hemoglobin species: HbA, HbA2, and HbF. This is HbF is a fetal hemoglobin which comprises up to 90% of HbA, HbA2 as 2.5, and HbF fetal hemoglobin up to 0.5 in each adult, and this range from 6 months bachu up to the adult one. So what is HbA? Besides this hemoglobin, red cell contain other hemoglobin variants, the product of non-enzymatic post-synthetic transformation of HbA. These are represented as HbA1a, HbA1b, and HbA1c, comprise about 1.6, 0.8, and 4% respectively with A, B, and C. Their rate of formation depend on the lifespan of RBCs and its mean hexose concentration over the time. These are collectively measured as HbA-ABC or HbA1 studies on the role of HbA1 that reflect the average blood sugar concentration for the extended time period and remains unaffected by the short-term fluctuation in blood sugar level. So HbA1 helps in evaluation the adequate of diabetes control in the prevention of several diabetic complication. HbA1 level may better reflect carbohydrate imbalance than blood sugar fasting postprandial or GTT. There is without risk of glucose loading procedure in control of diabetes mellitus. So Glycation is the non-enzymatic addition of the sugar residue to amino groups of the protein, and HbA1c, which is a synonym for glycosylated hemoglobin, is formed by the condensation of glucose in the terminal valine of each beta chain and HbA to form unstable chip base, which form stable keto amine HbA and C. This is the glycation and basic concept of glycosylated hemoglobin. So HbA1c is the major fraction constituting approximately up to 80% of HbA1, with several factors, the HbA1 having 80% of HbA1c. So the proper term in glycated rather than glycosylated hemoglobin, that is high HbA1c level, have been reported in iron deficiency anemia, and hence just now in corona patient there is a iron value with having high hemoglobin concentration, probably because of high proportion of old RBCs. So there is an important note that should be kept in mind. Kindly listen it carefully. Most of method for the measurement of glycated hemoglobins yield values for total HbA1 rather than HbA1c alone. This, although monitoring the glycated hemoglobin has been proposed as a diagnostic test, and it does not have a role in diagnosis of diabetes mellitus in non-pregnant adult or in gestational diabetes. This is the most important point which I want to make you notice. So we perform how the HbA1c perform in lab. So we perform it on the instrument which costs near up to 1,10,000 rupees, and it is also called as turbidometry test machine. The HbA1c net to fasting sample test is based on the calorimetric enzymatic method, which the concentration of HbA1c and the total hemoglobin determined separately. After addition of reagent 2, that is R2, the fructolized dipeptides from the N-terminal hemoglobin beta chains are released by a protease, and hydrogen peroxide is produced after oxidation cleavage of fructosylated dipeptides by FPOX, that is fructosyl peptide oxidase, and hydrogen peroxide is determined the calorimetric by the reaction with the chromatogen color formation in the presence of peroxidase at the filter of monochromatic light of 660 nanometer, and the absorbance increase is proportional to the HbA1c concentration. This is the machinery work which done in the turbidometry. You can see here this graphical presentation. Due to lack of time, I am not going to elaborate it further. Now HbA1c, the amount of glucose that combines with the protein directly proportional to the total amount of sugar that is in the system at time. So because red blood cell in the human body survive for 8 to 12 weeks before its renewal to next one, so measuring glycosylated hemoglobin, that is HbA1c, can be used to reflect the average blood glucose level over that duration, providing a useful longer term gauge of blood glucose tolerance. If the blood sugar level have been high in recent week, your HbA1c will also be a greater. And some patients, they mimic themselves for a good diabetic control diet within their test. So that will be a masking phase which will be covered by HbA1c. So these are some values in percentage and in millimole per liter. So normal HbA1c values, which is 6% or below 6%, having 42 millimole per mole. Pre-diabetic, it is 42 to 47, that is 6.6 to 6.4 over than normal, and before the diabetes. And in actual diabetes, it is 6.5 or over than it, that is 48 millimole per mole or over to the So this is a graphical presentation that patient may, this is the most important. If you listen it carefully, believe me, you will get some important clues regarding your future study. What I am going to elaborate here with HbA1c indicator. Patient may partially change in behavior before the investigation. Patient may mimic to good control on blood sugar fasting and postprandial in the test, but he never fool the RBC glucose bind up system for the active healthy life of RBCs, that is 120 days, early 30 days as premature and post 30 days as a fragile stage, that are eliminated. So remaining 60 days are the actual glucose test. So there is the relation of it with microalbuminuria. This is the most important clue point. Microalbuminuria. There is a term in earlier phase, they coin only microalbuminuria, that is kidney damage. No, that's not true. Microalbuminuria, which is less than 30 mg up to 299 mg in a day, is called microalbuminuria. While macroalbuminuria is a term when albumin in a urine is greater than 300 mg per dl, and where UACR, that is urine albumin creatinine ratio, UACR, that is urine albumin creatinine ratio, increased in arterial stiffness. Kindly note that. In relation to all vital organ myopathy, vasculopathy and degenerative changes, and Prameha is one of the non-inflammatory vasculopathy generated disease that should be kept in mind. So we are performing UACR, that is urine albumin creatinine ratio, possibility of heart attack, that is arterial stiffness, in inflammatory markers, or apart from inflammatory marker, the UACR with glycosylated hemoglobin have most. Coming to the most important part, what Rushita madam insisted me, you should go for CGM method, which is nowadays used by Madhobag for their diabetic management. What they manage and how they manage, I don't know. But what is CGM? The CGM with its new artificial pancreas is now invented furthermore. Again, I am coming to my Ayurvedic point. Then ahoratri bhuktana mantadiga madhyaga already it as pitta rises at midnight and hypoglycemic death occur from midnight to 4 o'clock early in the morning are the facts, and I had faced 2 cases regarding that. This new invention is launched, that is CGM. What is CGM? Continuous glucose monitoring system. CGM. Continuous glucose monitoring system works through the tiny sensor under your skin. Usually you had it over your forearm or over your abdomen. The sensor measures your intestinal glucose level, especially mesenteric. Hence, it is a embedded part that over the abdominal near the belly, which is glucose found in the fluid between the cell, and the sensor test glucose every few minutes. A transmitter wirelessly send the information to the monitor. The monitor may be a part of insulin pump or separate device which you might carry in your pocket or purse. Some continuous glucose monitoring systems send information directly to your smartphone or tablets. An alarm can sound when your glucose level goes too low or too high, and you can note your meal, physical activity and medicines regarding the CGM device too, along with your glucose level. You can download data to computer or smart device more easily to see your glucose trends. Some model can send information right away to the second person regarding you on smartphone. Perhaps those will be your parents, partner and caregiver. For example, if a child glucose drop dangerously low overnight, the CGM could be set a wake alarm for the parents in the next room. Now coming to the some other test. This is most important part. It needed me most exhausting for creating this searching in this regards. Important combination of insulin, proinsulin and C-peptide assay, which are helpful in certain differential diagnosis. So first we talk on insulin that determine in diabetes mellitus requiring insulin treatment and differentiate them from those who can be controlled with diet alone apart from diabetes. So this can be used insulin in type 2 diabetes. Now regarding proinsulin, it is a high proinsulin concentration are used noted in a patient with the benign or malignant beta cell tumor of the pancreas have increased insulin in C-peptides and proinsulin concentration also detect in a patient with the chronic renal failure and cirrhosis of or hypothyroidism may produce hypoglycemia. So there is a need of proinsulin study. Now talking most important apart from these two, C-peptides. C-peptide level increase in a patient with beta cell tumor. It also exhibit a number of advantage over the insulin measurement and better indicator of beta cell function than the peripheral insulin concentration. So C-peptide level do not cross react with the insulin antibodies which interfere with the insulin immunoassay and it does not measure exogenous insulin. Now blood sugar level. In human, insulin is made by beta cell in the pancreas and that fat is stored in adipose tissue and glycogen is both stored in released needed by the liver, and regardless in insulin level, no glucose is released to the blood from internal glycogen store from muscle cells. So the hormone glucagon on the other hand has an effect opposite to that of insulin, which is also part of pancreatic ductless endocrinal secretions, forcing the conversion of glycogen in liver cell to glucose, which is then released into the blood. Muscle cell lack the ability to export the glucose into the blood, and the release of glucagon is precipitated by low level of blood glucose and no food in the stomach. So other hormones, notably growth hormone, cortisol, and certain catecholamine such as epinephrine, stress hormone, have glucoregulatory action similar to glucagon. That should be kept in mind. So now coming what we started, apart from Ayurveda, apart from modern, we coming to the Ayurveda, that the most important organ for the regulation of glucose metabolism is beta Langerhans cells releasing insulin. In short, insulin acts as a key to introduce glucose in your cell for the energy through Krebs cycle from ADP to ATP with the same gland hormones as glucagon secreted through pancreas. It is called as Agnyashay, Klom, Tila, etc. in Ayurveda regarding Udakva Srotas. And when excess of carbohydrate intake increases with sedentary lifestyle, with no exercise, some anxiety, stress may trigger adrenaline, can cause extra sugar to release in the blood, that is epinephrine hormone. By the means of epinephrine, a stress-induced hormone can help as flight, bhag jao, or fight karo, defense karo. It is for the survival because the response essential made by the nature for survival and release huge blood sugar level in the blood for masculine work, same flight or fight. So genetically you are programmed for certain body mass. Your genetics having allowed you for certain body mass with its certain extent insulin requirement. If this proportion lost or may exhausted insulin gland needed some external support, that is type 2 diabetes mellitus, which is non-insulin dependent, takes place. Sorry. When I was asked to have my lecture on blood sugar, with my reply, it should be on blood sugar level. And my colleagues, each one of them have a perspective of blood sugar level is equal to Madhumeha, Prameha. Sir, are you talking on Madhumeha? Are you talking regarding Prameha? So I say, believe me, Ayurveda doesn't reflect it as a disease, Prameha. It's a lifestyle induced disorder, not a disease. Still we agree to look out it as a disease explained in incurability of only Vataja Prameha type, not in others. But regarding Kapha and Pittas type of Prameha reflects itself as Mutra Dushti or Mutra Dushti Janya Vyadhi, or may called it as vitiated doshas accumulate in Mala to create certain collaboration in Mutra only, and that is Malaprodoshaj Vikara, which explained in our Ayurveda, the basic concept in our Rog Nidan part. Paper first. While Tulya Deshata, Tulya Doshata, Tulya Vayata, Madhumeha itself is an exception for Tulya Doshata. Same Kaphas type are Sadhya in nature, and it is Medavo Sroto Dushti Janita Vyadhi, though it may associated with fat saturation and overweight resulting, that is Asya Sukham, Vagera Vagera. So I am going to elaborate here why I had chosen hyperglycemia than other things. Still the sedentary lifestyle, no exercise, high calorie intake is going on, which is called Kaphakrucham Sarvam Asya Sukham. Whatever the sedentation like for the body is Asya Sukham, not Asya, only taste. You feel better on sleeping, you feel better on sitting, that's all. Then somewhat genetical secretion of pancreas may extend their insulin secretion with your non-programmed overweight. It may somewhat extend a little bit, load can be taken. Still weight gaining is going on and on. Then at some extent exhausted over secretory pancreas cell which get exhausted and fused, which stop of secretion. Just a lamp flame in good wine and try to blow up at certain extent and suddenly end up in fumes. It become brighter and fused off. In same way, non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus may turn to insulin dependent diabetes mellitus with bad sedentary lifestyle. So this Agnashaya, that is insulin and obesity, are the two main culprit or component in hyperglycemia. With infection, injury, excess endocrinal hormone make insulin resistance and hyperglycemia formed. This is the first important condition which create diabetes, hyperglycemia. So how we can differentiate the hetu and causes of hyperglycemia? So regarding that, 7,700 calories will release after burning of 1 kilo fat. This is the data not from my side. It is given a biochemistry expert Lehinger, a biochemistry book of Lehinger. And when 1 kilo fat burn, it gives 7,700 calories with 997 ml of water and fuel for the brain metabolism. क्योंकि हमारा ब्रेन मज्जा का जो प्राकृत अग्नि होता है वो कीटोन बॉडीज ही होता है. So that brain metabolism as ketone, क्योंकि ब्रेन प्रेप साइकिल पे और इंसुलिन पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं होता है. So possibility in some animals which are going for hibernating stage, जैसा कि पोलर बेयर होता है, फ्रॉग होता है, कैमल, इनके हम्प में फैट होता है. They don't have carrying any kind of water and calories. They having fat. And when a polar bear going in hibernating stage, you can't believe his respiration rate for one respiration in 2 minutes and one heartbeat for 1 minute. He can't excrete any kind of urine, stool, and his urine is reabsorbed from his bladder and metabolized there furthermore. So it is not possible in human being, neither turns to excessive ketone bodies in his blood, a fatal condition that Mahamrutyunjay mantra wise easy painless death in diabetes mellitus. And what is that? Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukumi Vayobandhanan Mrityor Mokshi Yamamruta. That is, that Urvaru gets separated from its stalk painlessly, same, and this can possible only in diabetes mellitus in ketoacidotic condition. रुषिता त्यांना थोडंसं रिक्वेस्ट करना खाली जा प्लीज थोडंसं एक अर्धा तास. So simple formula in Ayurveda, same. Insulin and glucagon had discussed under the term of sodium retention in Uddhava Srotas, and polyphagia, polyuria, and polydipsia as a lack of insulin hormone. So what Ploma in Ayurveda takes by Dalhanacharya in his commentary on Sushrut Samhita, Ploma as tila, like structure situated in the right side of the abdomen below the liver, can be considered as gallbladder, and it is present on the right side of abdomen below the liver. Even Ploma, tila, Agnashay are the synonyms for thirst center for Agnashay and its hormones. Hence, Ayurveda is very peculiar about the water consumption timing. Even steroidal treatment, water retention and non-pitting edema for long-term steroidal treatment, which is a suprarenal gland which itself physiologically releases hormones, glucocorticoids, and aldosterone secretory, promotes water retention by the kidneys and regulates the water balance. The thyroid hormone in hypothyroidism condition can make swelling and puffiness of the face in same manner. The water-rich tissue or kapha predominant tissue in the body are rasa, that is lymph, chyle, nutrition essence from after the digestion of food in the stomach, which on releasing the heart is put into the circulation. Mamsa, which is water based, med, fat tissue, majja, bone marrow, shukra, reproductive tissue, purisha, feces, and thus the water rich tissue comprise 5 tissues and 2 excreta and cough operating system. So small intestine, the early initial length of coil of jejunum and duodenum absorb major quantity of water, since small intestine, mainly the jejunum, matches with the location of Ploma. Explained in Ayurveda text, it can be considered as Ploma, small intestine. Now coming to the most important part, दोषोपनद्धम यदि लीनमन्नम पित्तोल बनस्या वृणु यन्न अन्नम वन्नी जायत दुष्टातु ततो बुभुक्षा या मंदबुद्धि विषवन्नी हंति. It is a reference from Ashtanga Sangra Sutrasthan. Ambuva as a most important in annavadushti. Ajirne Veshajamvari, Jirnovari, Balpradam, Ajirno Bhujanam, Visham. Even water after food, Attambupan, overnight bed time water drinking, and Abhishandi Ahar, especially Dadi, Vaikruti, 7 at bedtime or night, makes you Zadyakar, means obese, because biochemistry Lehinger gives an idea about a calories in a fat formation can be a fat contents in calories plus water release. So water is the most important culprit for obesity, and obesity which give some pathogenicity to hyperglycemia. This is the concept. So ajirna, ama, rasa, sheshajirna, amajirna are the disease of annava srotodushti. In Attambu Pana Sevan and Lagvantra Dushti as a seat of Ambu, and furthermore to the samprapti of hyperglycemia by Ayurveda is hence the Lehinger formula of the fat burns certain animals which are going for hibernating with the water-bound calories, ultimately in obesity, overweight, ultimatum in obesity, water consumption, calories over calories, water consumption. 3 P's in Ayurveda, that is polypepsia, polydipsia, and polyuria. That 3 P's, apart from polyuria, you can consider polydipsia and polyphagia, ज़्यादा खाना और ज़्यादा पानी पीना. That ultimate makes obesity. That obesity still continue the hetu to the overweight. That continue overweighting to form the lack of insulin and higher body mass to create hyperglycemia. And hence the concept of med. 2 types of med are described in Ayurveda. That is baddha and another one is abaddha. Baddha, bonded, unmovable med. The fat, not mobile, is stored in the form of fat at the various places. Fat deposits, momentum, muscle in the body. While talking on abaddha, which is the samprapti of prameya also, bahu abaddha, that is unbounded, movable, the fat which is mobile and circulates in the body along with the blood in the form of lipid, that is cholesterol, triglyceride, LDL, HDL, VLDL, etc. So prameya hetu and hyperglycemia, I am going to elaborate this one point, that ase sukam, sopna sukam, dadhini, ग्राम्योदक अनुपरसांसी पयांसी नवान्न पाणम गुड़ वैकृतम च प्रमेय हेतु कफकृच्चम सर्वम. This is the reference from Charak Chikitsa Sthan 6. Ase sukam, that is sedentary life. Kafakricha sarvam, we explained it in earlier slide just now. Swapna sukam, sleep at daytime with, swapna sukam means what? Sleep at daytime with night time also. Gramya, that is beef, goat, sheep, flesh. Earth means water creature, seafoods. Anuparasa, that is their mamsaras, anuparasa, santarpanatta vyadi. Navarna panam, you know, new crop is time related kafkara, that same example which is given in our Ayurveda, that adraka and shunti nyaya. Adraka is a madhura and a kafaka, while with time maturity it turns to shunti, which is a katu vipak and kafagna in nature. So new crop is a kafkar, while old crop and matured crop is definitely tridosh hara, tridosh samyakara. Now Guda Vaikruta, it is already, we discussed there that Guda Vaikruta, that is over carbohydrate intake in heavy calorie, direct sugar, is not good for the Medoha Srotodushti. Dadhini, here Dadhini is a culprit as Abhishandan in nature with Jadyakar Bhav, especially Dadi Vikruti, then Niragnicha, butter, रात्रि काले दधी, भुक्ति, विकृति, बटर, पनीर, चीज. अब ये दधी विकृति अग्नि के सिवा कैसे बनता है, तो वो दधी विकृति को हम समझना चाहिए. बटर, पनीर, चीज, श्रीखंड, क्रीम आर heavy even obesity induced with dadhini. Takra as good probiotic load in the sense of overnourishment. So that probiotics which give you good quality nourishing, and that may be a santarpanatta vyadi. So hence dadhini is the most important culprit regarding butter, paneer, cheese, srikhand, cream as niragni. After dadhini, still explaining the payamsi. दधी को बताने के बाद भी वो दूध की बात कर रहे हैं. Why it is so? That payamsi, milk products which are heavier in calories with agni vikruti. Now there is a agni के साथ उसका योग करते हैं. As खवा, खोया, sweets, पेड़ा, बर्फी, कलाकंद, चमचम, घी, रसगोल्ला, etc. And first colostrum, mouth-watering kharvas in Maharashtra. That first colostrum of the buffalo, cows, that kharvas, it is itself is IgM immunoglobulin rich milk of other species which mother can't give it through placenta and decidua membrane. Only IgG can transfer, having 64,000 lowest molecular weight from decidua. And but these antigen created antibody in human are retained useless for a longer period. That colostrum may create it behaves as antigen and may create antibodies in your body, and that useless for longer time. These antibodies with IgE receptor who identified self and non-self, that is foreign body, for the defense get shut down in relation with time. And now autoimmune disease takes place by the attack of cell defense of own cell. There is an assumption is that this IgM antibody have special attack regarding the PAMC, special attack on beta Langerhans cells, and hence lack of insulin creating hyperglycemia, which induce diabetes mellitus will be created. Same in anti-streptolysin O factor in rheumatic fever, and same Kaphokrucham sarvam cha iti. So now it is a prameha samprapti, which is actually this is not the prameha samprapti. This is the samprapti which explained by Charak Chikitsasthan in Rajyakshma Chikitsa, but some of Acharya use it in Prameya Vyadhi very cleanly. That is, that samprapti is actually a samprapti of hyperglycemia. Tasmin kale pachatyaragni yad annam postamagatam malini bhavati tat praya kalpate kinchid rasaujase. Though this reference that given in Rajyakshma samprapti shlok, still it fulfills the concept of hyperglycemia as tasmin kale in real that is vijatiya or sajatiya body nurturing factors with vruddhi samane sarvesham. Is tasmin kale pachatteragane उसी नेट हलता है थोड़ा सा. Am I audible?
नहीं, आवाज प्रॉपर नहीं आ रही है, कट कट के आ रही है.
हाँ.
कभी कभी बीच बीच में थोड़ा सा कट हो रही है सर आवाज, अदरवाइज ठीक है.
मैम वो थोड़ा सा नेटवर्क इश्यू और लाइट भी चली गई, अब पसीने में ना. ओके प्लीज मैनेज, थैंक यू. So tasmin kale, what I explained, that kala related anna grahana parinamana ahar vruddhi samane sarvesham, that turns to kala anushangat vijatiya dravya to sajatiya, that is body nurturing factors. Now pachate yada annam, digestion with the jataragni, yad pachate agni, that is digestive fire. Postamagatam, food particles when came to post or stomach and intestine. Mali bhavati, this is the most important part. Mali bhavati, what it means? Poshya poshak nyay to turns rasa raktadi, nurtures part with kittamala formation. Here ahar vipak shlok, which I remembered, that jatarena agnina yoga yad udeti rasantaram rasanam parinamante sa vipak iti spruta. Here the sa word give an idea about nurturing of doshas in the body. Here especially Kaphokrucham sarvam is again one of the factor regarding clay, the production may correlate with hyperglycemia. Bahu drava shleshma dosh vishesha. It is a reference from Charak Chikitsasthan 6. And Prabhuta Avila Mutrata is the factor in hyperglycemia due to increase in blood osmotic pressure. So tat prior, before that part, kalpate kinchit rasaujase, that is hyperglycemia, is called as rasa plus oj, or in other word, a unique word rasauj. So prameya samprapti and hyperglycemia, regarding samprapti of hyperglycemia, even in proper reference of prameya madhumeya, it explain kapha pitta pavanascha dosha in dasadushya samprapti. Still the bunch of three dosha have a priority to kapha dosh bahu drava shleshma dosh vishesh. Power of all kaph and kledak kaph. Kledak kaph itself is a drava guna pradhana kaph, and whatever explained in Ayurveda itself is hyperglycemic water retention condition with asya sukam, swapna sukam, ये सब हमने बताया. Now prameya hetu Kaphokrucham sarvam, whatever kaph increasing factor are also a part of prameya hetu. So a hypertonic condition plasma expanding, which is a hyperglycemia. And whenever there is rise up in Kledak curve, it reflects Klimnatva with its Kledasya mutra abhivahanam, that is karma rise in micturition and polydipsia, polyuria. Ultimately, Agnimandia and Dhatva tu Dashadushya Vikruti with its kitta increasing in Dhatu Maladhikyam, explaining in Dantadina Maladaptam Pragrupam Panipadayo and Kesh Jatili Bhava Naka Vaikruta Naka Vruddhimcha. Whatever, this is all explained regarding hyperglycemic factors. What I think. Now, this research across certain diseases in Ayurveda as a contributed word, as we had seen Madhumeha and Rajatma just now. Pandu in Murdabhakshan, Pandu Janita Samprapti, Krumi Hetu, and one of the Sannipata Jwar, that is Hatha Ojas, which Hatha means Ahat Hona Ojas ko, Oj ka. And hence, according to the all about discussion, Kaf and Ab Dhatu Dushti in Bahu Abadha form creates lifestyle induced disorder, which can be correlated with Nidana Parivarjan of unhealthy lifestyle, control in weight, avoiding hormonal imbalance and hyperglycemic condition. So adaptation of Dinacharya, Ritucharya, Ratricharya with Achar Rasayan can prevent hyperglycemic condition. Hence, Ayurveda denotes in medium of Prameha Nivrutti Lakshan effectively. अगर आयुर्वेद कहता है ये असाध्य है तो वो निवृत्ति लक्षण क्यों बताता? Because it is a hyperglycemic condition. This is my point of elaboration. Still, pramad in a lifestyle result to apayo laguta puna. If you are going for unhealthy lifestyle, then recurrence and uncontrolled hormonal disorders. Whatever Ayurveda explained, that prameya will be nivrutti lakshana. That prameya nivrutta lakshano prameyuno yada mutram avilam analam pischilam vishadam tikta katukam tada arogya prachakshate. When its urine comes to tikta katu rasatma and avilta gone, frequency gone, then it will be a nivritti lakshana in prameha. That should be kept in mind. So hyperglycemia induced glycosuria. Glycosuria is the condition associated with hyperglycemia possibility. मेरा खत्म होने को आ रहा है, मैं आपका ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लूँगा. Associated with hyperglycemia possibility. Normally it is absent. When glucose comes in urine is called glycosuria. These are colors. These are diastриc, GOD, POD, glucose oxidase, peroxidase method. Glucosuria exception without hyperglycemia. When there is no such condition of hyperglycemia, still glucose in urine, it is seen in renal tubular dysfunction, anal glycosuria, low renal threshold, and gestational diabetes. We can compare Ojodrishti in gradation with glycosuria, Ojasramsa, Ojovyapad, Ojakshaya with 0 grade of glycosuria. This is also called as Fanconi's syndrome or glucose in urine. 0.5 to 1 gram as stress, 0 to 1.5 gram as low, 0 to 5.5 gram moderate, 2 gram% as high, and associated with ketone bodies need intensive care. Acidosis with hyperventilation is a kind of ketoacidosis and death may occur in Nidra. Wahi Mahamrutyunjay mantra wala. So these Ojodrishti explained by Sushrutaracharya can be compared with its gradation in glycosuria. And this is all from my side. Thank you. This reference is from Bibeti Durbalo Vishnam, Dhyayate Vetitendriya from Charak's side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर. बहुत ही बढ़िया और इलेबरेटिव एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया आपने BSL.
शायद आज के बाद कोई हाइपरग्लाइसेमिया और डायबिटीज में फर्क करना सीख जाए तो बहुत हो जाएगा.
Yes, sir. Right.
In Ayurveda.
Yes, actually, many times confused with hyperglycemia and diabetes mellitus.
Yes, sir. Hyperglycemia is another condition.
Yes.
And what Ayurveda says, prameha oblique madhumaya, synonyms to each other, is the another part in Ayurveda. But it is probable towards the what we say mutra dushti lakshana rather than prameha vyadhi. Yes, thank you Aishwarya ma'am. Ganesh Kole sir.
Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू सर।
मेरे
मैं
पास
हमारे
स्लाइड्स रिगार्डिंग मेडिको लीगल एस्पेक्ट पर मैंने वो अवॉइड कर दिया।
सर वो
ओके ओके
हाउ
सर।
टू सेट अप अ लेबोरेटरी उसके लिए हम अलग से लेंगे आपसे।
श्योर सर, विल डू दैट।
मैं हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स में से रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगी, अगर किसी को अपने विचार रखने हैं या अगर सर से कुछ सवाल पूछने हैं तो प्लीज पुट अप करें।
और अभी फिलहाल नहीं रख सकते हो तो ग्रुप में जरूर डिस्कस करें।
यस सर, वी आर
जी बिल्कुल।
Nothing is there.
हेलो मैम।
Yes.
हाँ हाँ सर।
शैल वी कंक्लूड सर, आपकी आज्ञा है।
Sir, sure. In hope that
Yes.
hyperglycemia and blood sugar level, it will be understood from my side. Thank you.
यस
यस, थैंक यू सो मच सर आपके इस इलेबोरेटिव लेक्चर के लिए। आयुर्वेदिक और मॉडर्न एस्पेक्ट दोनों ही बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से आपने एक्सप्लेन किए हैं। मैं आज आप यहाँ पे हमारे साथ जुड़े, अपने अपना समय निकाला और एकेडमिक के लिए समय निकाला, इसलिए मैं आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अदा करती हूँ।
Thank
और
you.
हमारे सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स जो आज हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, सभी का धन्यवाद करती हूँ। और आज का ये वेब सीरीज, सिंगल लेक्चर सीरीज खत्म होता है। तो सभी को फिर से एक बार थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।
Thank you all of you.